Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, A Song of Ice and Fire, the role-playing game. I reviewed the Game of Thrones role-playing game as one of the first reviews we did way back in the original set, which are now available on DVD, by the way, small plug. And it was a D20 game, and I liked it then, and it still holds up really well. This is a newer version of a game in the same setting. It is not a redo or a second edition or a revised edition of the previous game. This is an entirely new book, entirely new game. So, what's the same? Same basic setting, which honestly you could divorce from this game and build your own low magic, high intrigue, semi-medieval, semi-Renaissance sort of role-playing game and go from there. There's enough of the setting that you can build it. There is a setting book coming out later this year at the time of this shooting, so there's that available for you. This is a roll and keep type of role-playing system in games you saw like in 7th Sea, where you roll a certain number of six-sided die and then you keep either all or a smaller subset of that number you pull and you add them up in C. This is a six-sided system, so you can use almost any die you need. That gives you options for playing characters of various ages. The older you are, the more skilled you are at certain things, but the less chance you have of really reshaping, really controlling the environment. You're not along for the ride because you can influence it, but you have less luck, basically, and less destiny that you can spend on things or have your own neat shticks with it. One of the coolest things about this book, in my opinion, is the ability to create your own minor house. Now, that's one of the things about the Song of Ice and Fire, as George R.R. Martin has created it, is you have this wide variety of houses, major houses, smaller minor houses that you have to contend with and that are fighting for dominance. And really, the story is mainly about the players in the major houses. This lets you build with this really elegantly beautiful system your own minor house, and you build in an extensive background, a history, what you're really strong at, what you're weak at, how much fealty you really owe to the great house that's with you, how big your domain is, how well you police it, how content your people are, how many people you have, etc. It would probably take about as long, about another evening, or maybe if you made your characters quickly, you could make your minor house in the rest of the evening. Character creation itself goes reasonably quickly. One of the things that's different about this than most role-playing games is you don't have a separate pool of skills and attributes. A lot of them are combined in together. So what you have is something like agility, animal handling, athletics, healing, language, thievery, warfare, will, marksmanship, fighting, etc. So it assumes that if you've got a high fighting skill, you have whatever mojo you need, be it wits, be it strength, be it speed, to help you be a good fighter. This is not completely setting free. You can get a lot of the Song of Ice and Fire setting in this. More extensive settings are forthcoming in a future book, but by and large, you could pull this out and make your own quasi-medieval fantasy game in this. So, which one do I like better? I can hear some of you out there waiting to trap me because, okay, mister, I like every book. Which one do you like better? Honestly, if I had to pick one right now, I wouldn't because I can't pick between my children. Ha! I weaseled out of it. This is good. I think the system is a lot smoother than D20, although I still hold that the Game of Thrones D20 book is probably one of the most beautifully complete D20 books out there. The only thing it was lacking, in my opinion, was mass combat for naval warfare and for land warfare. But you can get around that if you needed to. So I'm happy to see this because I think that world is a great setting for some role-playing games, and I think that this will do a good job carrying on the line. So for Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.